Entrepreneurship is the best path to your truest self. You have to operate at 110% of the time. You won't, because you're a human being. Some days will be 30%, some days will be 70, some days will be 110. Through that, the challenge, the adversity, the just natural ups and downs, you become the most raw, epic, enlightened, powerful version of yourself. You get one life, you get one tiny little fraction of time on this planet to experience being a human, and you are probably born into one of the best moments in history and the best locations in the world ever. Don't you dare, in the slightest, not try to get every single ounce out of that. Like, squeeze every drop out of this life. And I think building a business is the best way to do it.
Welcome to That One Time with Adam Metwally, the podcast bridging the gap between health, hustle, and happiness. We're at Thursday Labs in Venice, Los Angeles, and I'm with Jake Hurwitz. Jake is the secret weapon behind some of the loudest voices in business. He's the founder of Thursday Labs, a strategic podcast studio that produces podcasts for hypergrowth founders and VCs. But he's not also just a podcast producer. He hosts his own show called The Optimist Podcast about men's mental health. Today, we're digging into the truth of producing successful shows, some nightmare client stories, the number one marketing strategy he uses to make millions for his clients.
It's funny, it's my first time in my own studio being a guest on someone else's show. Either it's my show or I'm in the background recording client shows right here. So this is a treat.
Yeah, let's get after it then, shall we?
Yeah, man.
So for the people who don't know who you are, give us a 60-second pitch. Who is Jake Hurwitz? And what actually is Thursday Labs?
Okay, so I'm a goofy guy, and I'm very adventurous. Mm-hmm. I actually have a purpose statement that I wrote last year called my purpose is to increase fulfillment by being adventurous, bold, and curious. So Jake Hurwitz is adventurous, bold, and curious. I love playing outside, surfing, snowboarding, cycling, trail running. And when I'm not outside, I'm in the studio and I'm producing podcasts. I've always been in the tech scene. I love my network of founders and VCs. Mm-hmm. I like to think it's a strong network. And yeah, I've produced now in the last 2 years over 50 shows for mostly founders and about a dozen VCs. Some big funds, some small funds, some big companies, some small companies, kind of everything in between. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to produce shows now for more like the creator influencer types, mm-hmm. Not just founders, but we definitely play in that lane. And then, I have my own show about men's mental health and modern masculinity. That's a bit of more of the passion project, just a cause I care endlessly about. Plus, it's an opportunity to test a lot of strategies and stuff and how to build a podcast on my own canvas before bringing it to all our other shows. Yeah. That's my quick synopsis.
Yeah, nice. So I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room right away. AI.
Cool.
AI and content. So it's taking over the world and really impacting a lot of workflows. So do you see AI replacing you?
No.
What makes you say that?
Well, I don't think a robot could replace a human. It could replace a lot of things that I do, but I don't think it's replacing me as a person. And I'm okay with that. Like I'm down with AI taking a lot of things off my plate and allowing me to focus on things I actually want to do more and more often. But I don't think AI is replacing me.
Yeah. How are you making AI make you 10 times more valuable?
Okay. So I've tried to use AI in everything you could possibly imagine when it comes to, at least when we're talking about work, when it comes to podcast production. A lot of areas I don't feel comfortable using it, meaning the results are shitty.
Yeah.
There are a lot of areas where we have to use it because the results are unbelievable. Let's talk about those. The first is when I'm producing a new podcast and I'm trying to understand where's the white space in an industry. Mm-hmm. I can use ChatGPT deep research to put together the most incredible analysis of a space in fucking 20 minutes. Combine that with then like a team of really awesome producers and editors and videographers and myself to be like, okay, we see the white space. Now, how do we like fill it with something unique and and solid, knowing what we know about how to build a good podcast.
Yeah.
So just like, what's the show about? We come up with some really fascinating stuff that, look, would we have been able to figure it out without GPT deep research? Yeah, it would have been like a 6-week research project.
Yeah.
We do it in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Such a grind too. Those are the jobs that you just hate doing as well.
I mean, now, in the past, it was like I would actually take a month to like come up with a thing. And now I do it in half a day. And because of that, we could do many more shows.
Yeah.
The next is in figuring out what guests should we interview on this show? Like, who are the best possible people in New York this week to interview on this show?
Yeah.
What's trending in the space? Who's in town?
How do you figure that out?
Again, ChatGPT deep research.
How does it know who's in
Literally
town?
just ask the question, or just like who's based in New York and like could be in town. And
okay,
you're not always right, but I'll build a list of 100 people. I need to get 4 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll hit them all up and I'll be like, here's what we're doing. And we'll get 4 out of 100 every time.
Yeah. Do you know Kevin Kelly?
No.
He's a co-founder of Wired magazine, like a big tech dude. I got him off like a ChatGPT deep research, got his emailed him.
I found Instagram DMs, especially for most of our shows, work great. It helps having a few thousand or more followers on your account. I got like 25,000 followers on Instagram. So it's a lot easier now to DM anybody and be like, hey, I produce podcasts. Like, we've got a show coming to New York in 2 weeks. It's about X, Y, and Z. We'd love to have you on. Like, might you be interested? And the reply rate on that is higher than anything I've seen anywhere else. So deep research is really like the name of the game for us. So that's great. We'll use AI as well for then, okay, we have this guest coming on. Hey, Chat, or hey, Gemini, whatever you want to use. Can you go scour the web for everything that this person has ever talked about?
Yeah.
Plus everything that this industry needs to hear about and is not hearing much about and is demanding that this person could speak to. Put together an episode outline for me. Come up with the theme or sub-themes, list of questions, like basically make an outline. And that V1 is usually pretty solid, and then we humanize it and send it to a guest ahead of time. So the guest is prepared and the host is prepared. So coming up, it's just like all the pre-production stuff we're leaning very heavily into deep research on. Yeah. AI for editing, not good. There are very few tools that I trust. I don't like Opus Clip. I don't like Descript. There are some AI tools in there. Riverside's got a couple of interesting AI tools. Like, I like the tool that you could like make your eyes look like you're looking at the camera. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like Overlap, newer on the streets. As of now, it's December 2025. Like, they're still pretty new, and I'm really pleased with what they're putting out. And give it another 6 months, I think they're going to be. They must take over Opus Clip. They just have to. But yeah, we rely on humans for any editing, post-production, and like distribution strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So running Thursday Labs, you produce podcasts for high-profile founders. What has been one of the toughest situations you've had to deal with when dealing with clients?
There's one I get a lot. And for what it's worth, a lot of our founders, they are high profile. A lot of them are not, and they want to be high profile. That's actually more our bread and butter, like building something, taking it from 0 to 1 versus like 1 to 10. Yeah. We could do both, because it's like once we get it from 0 to 1, then we take it from 1 to 10. But 0 to 1 is, I think it's the most fun part, but it's the most challenging part, because you're dealing with somebody's like very, very raw anxiety. So a founder who's never really put their face on the internet before, all of a sudden I'm putting them in front of the most beautiful cinematic cameras in the market and saying, talk about something provocative and controversial, and then I got you. That's scary for them. And so they're nervous. There's a lot of human emotion involved in this. Hey, my spouse said I shouldn't do that. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about your spouse. Like, they're not our is your spouse our audience? Why are they chiming in on this? So I get that stuff a lot. Usually it's okay, but there have been a few times where it's like, don't come to me with that. But I think the toughest is people have a skewed definition of going viral, in my opinion. Like, we do tons of shows that are very niche B2B shows. I mean, in a space like cybersecurity or learning and development, or, something very, very oddly specific.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like sub niches, like, cybersecurity for Fortune 500 chief security officers, or, learning and development for, or like we have a show for college admissions counselors at the top universities. It's just like,
so like 1,000 people in that.
Right. And so now I'm not going to say that like in particular, any of these specific clients of ours have asked this, but like I see these trends at large where typically those who are more niche harps more on going viral. So they'll say like, Jake, make me go viral.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I got you. And then after like they ask 3 or 4 times, like, okay, hold on. Let's just back up for a second. How many people are in your total addressable market, your TAM, or how many potential audience members are even in the world? 500 people.
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000 people. And they're like, but I want to go viral. It's like 500 views is not viral.
Yeah.
To the average eyeball. Like if I see 500 plays on one of your clips, I don't think that that's viral.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
But if that means 100% of your TAM is watching your content every day,
it's great.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
So I think that there's such a conversation that needs to be had more. It'll just make my life a little bit easier. But I have this conversation constantly, which is nothing more than just like, we don't need to care about the quantity of people watching your shit. We care about the quality of the people watching your shit.
Yeah.
Are they converting? Who are they? Like, well, I'll play that game all day because that's what really matters. For niche B2B technical shows where there's a lot of white space, there's not a lot of competition. These are shows that are meant to bring business to the company. Now, if we're talking like a lifestyle show where I want it to go
quickly,
viral,
what do you mean by white space?
White space. So there's just gaps in the market. Like no one's talking about this or no one's doing it this way.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing here. No one's playing here. That's the white space. And so we want to always play our own game. We want to always like create a new trend, a new space. That's really important for podcasts.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, you were saying, and then back onto lifestyle podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're building like a lifestyle show about fucking relationships or about health and fitness or about beauty or about whatever, and there are millions and millions of people in the world that can tune into this stuff, it's a different strategy. Like then we are going for virality. Then we are going for follower count. The clips are different. The guests that we get on, it's different. Like everything from the core is just a different approach. We can do both. We've done tons of both. You just need to know that they're different. If you apply the same strategies to each type of show, you're going to
get nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to pick a lane, really.
Pick a lane. Like it can evolve.
Yeah.
It can change.
Yeah.
It's called a pivot, but like you got to be intentional about that. Like, okay, now we're literally going to change like the type of guests we get, the types of questions we ask, like how we treat video clips, where we post them, how we write captions. Like it's all very different.
Yeah. Have you ever had to fire a client?
A couple.
Yeah. How did that go?
It's never fun. When I have to fire a client, it's never because I'm too bothered by them. Mm-hmm. Look, of course, I get very bothered by some clients here and there, a human being. But I have enough experience and enough of a mindfulness practice and routines to like not let that mess up my day. Yeah. I have to get rid of a client because they're putting more strain on my team than I'm comfortable with. So I'm doing it on behalf of my people. Yeah. If I have a very clear and serious leadership style around to everyone on my team. Like, hey, if you're ever finding yourself spending 2-3x more time or energy on any one client than others, and that's happening often, you need to tell me that. Because no one client is ever worth more than the whole portfolio at large. I will always happily drop one client if it means that we're hurting other clients. No client wants to hear that because they're always my most important client, right? But at the end of the day, I have to run a portfolio business. And so I'm doing this to protect my team. Roughly, and like, look, it's never always equal, but like, when you zoom out over the course of a month or 6 months, I do really care that my team is roughly spending the same amount of energy and time and stress on each client. And it's also a reason why we start with like 20 episode contract, like
so get some systems
roughly
running.
6 months. Yeah, we can also just learn like it's an easy out for them if they hate working with us, if they don't see the results that they're looking for. It's also an easy out for us if they're causing more problems for us than they are upside. We have great margins, but like no margin is better than them like being disrespectful to my team or making them like have unrealistic expectations on timelines or deliverables or things like that. So that's in the category of me taking a bullet for my team.
Yeah, I understand. So what actually makes a nightmare client if you were to distill it?
It's no different than like
a nightmare human.
Yeah, a little bit. First off, we have a no assholes policy.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to, I think it's a privilege to work with us. Like I'm building your dream life for you, guiding you in this shit. I'll give some analogies. If you got on an airplane and there was some turbulence, like would you go shit on the pilot? Like would you go give them a hard time? It's like, get off the fucking plane. They've been working their whole life, working their ass off to take you safely from point A to point B, doing the best they can. Have some respect for like the craft. And so, yeah, I try to just suss out early on, because as someone who's just essentially just like grateful for all that we're doing together. We do a lot for them. We get them pretty significant results. These are like, it's not just ROI in form of money. Like these are life-changing results. Yeah. So I care about that a lot. People are just disrespectful. Like I just have no tolerance for it. There's enough great people out there to work with, and that I don't want to work with assholes. But I think the bigger one is, imagine you've never run a day in your life and you decide for whatever reason, I want to run the New York Marathon in 3 months. And so you go hire a trainer. You don't know anything about stretching, about running, about fueling, about sleep. You don't know anything. And the trainer's like, okay, great. Here's the plan. If you follow the plan, you're going to win. You can do great. There's going to be some ups and downs. It's going to be hard. Your feet are going to hurt, but like, that's part of the process. It's just the way it goes. Are you up for it? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And then six weeks in, you're like, hey, trainer, no, we're going to do it this way now. Like, I don't want to follow your diet. We're going to follow this diet that my other friend gave me, because like he ran a 5K at Turkey Trot last year. It's like, eventually that trainer's going to finally be like, dude, why'd you hire me? Yeah. Don't hire me to build you a house and then try to get in my way and build it. You're just going to fuck it up. Yeah. And then you're going to blame me when you get bad results. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. So I've had handful of clients over the years that just basically try to do the work for us, or they're asking questions that are they're not the kindest in how they're asking them. And clearly what's under it is that there's some dissatisfaction in like how we do things. They butcher the work, and then the results suck, and then they blame me for it, and we part ways. And like, it's just the business. Yeah, fair. Have you ever made anything for a client that you even thought was a bit too risky or a little crazy, and it surprised you? I love risky and crazy. Give it to me. You know, I have to really motivate and push all my clients and guests to fucking go there. You know, and I say to them, like, you got to go there. You got to be willing to say the thing that people aren't willing to say. Otherwise, you're just another voice that people are drowning out. I get it. It's really scary. And the fear of being canceled, or however you want to phrase it. But I'll never post something that for a client that I think could get them canceled. Yeah. If it's maybe a little bit risky, I might say to them like, hey, we'll always say like, hey, we might just want to think twice about this before putting on LinkedIn. It's about your sex life with your husband. Do you want to do that? I'd recommend no. But your call. Yeah. And usually they're like, I trust you. I'm like, great. Or sometimes I'm like, hey, this is a little bit risky for LinkedIn, but I think that we should do it. Here's why. Sometimes they've been like, I'd rather not. Okay. Like there's enough content to post. We don't have to post the one that could cause a problem, especially if you're going to lose sleep over it, or it could tarnish your relationship with anybody in your life. Yeah. But have we ever put anything out that like I thought would, I mean, there's been so many posts, thousands and thousands of posts we've put out that I thought would crush and didn't. Yeah, well. Of course. Timing, algorithm, bad luck, you name it. A lot of our clips that have crushed, I wouldn't have expected it. It's funny how that works. And I think a lot has to do with timing, zeitgeist, you name it. One of my episodes that I thought was one of the worst interviews I ever led, and I wasn't a fan of the lighting setup that we had. I was trying out a new studio. I almost didn't post it, the whole episode. I almost didn't post any of it. And then we had a down week where we missed a week, and I was like, you know what, whatever, just post it. Like, and then I kind of just like didn't even think about it. And turns out that was like our second highest viewed clip ever. It was like extraordinarily viral. It's so funny. Millions and millions and millions of views like immediately. Which was eye-opening. That was the first time that level of like, that happened at that level.
Yeah.
So at this point, I've just feel like I've seen so much in either direction that I'm a little almost like jaded to it.
Yeah.
Just like, I can't tell you that's going to go viral. That's not. I can tell you what the formula is, but even if we follow it to a T, which we always try to, like, it still doesn't play like that. You just got to like take as many perfect swings as you can get, knowing that like only a few are going to hit. You don't know which ones are going to hit.
Yeah, I think the shots on goal approach is definitely the best approach when it comes to content, from what I've understood. Because you hit two different things. You get to test and then you get to improve because you're just constantly working on it.
But yeah, and we say to clients a lot, I'm like, we're going to post a lot of stuff. Again, we can't tell you what's going to work, but some of them will work. None of us can guess it. But like, if we don't post enough variety, if we don't post enough frequency, we're not getting enough shots on goal. We're talking like 20, 30 clips a day on some channels over the course of many months. You need so much volume to get there. People really underestimate that.
Yeah. And
they have so much fear around that. Oh, I'm spamming people. People are going to start unfollowing me. It's such a myth, dude. It's such a myth. That's another one that doesn't bother me that much. Like, I don't really lose sleep over it, but almost every client at some point, we're like week 2 or 3, and they're like, hey, I feel like we're posting like too much. I feel like I'm bothering my friends on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay. The way the algorithm works is it's only showing about 20% of your content to your followers. So right out of the gates, if you want people to see you once a week, you got to post once a day, 5 times a week. You want people to see you every day, you got to post 5 times a day. Like, you have to post 5 times more than you want people to see you. Rule of thumb. So, and I'm in a camp of like, I want people seeing me like 2 to 3 times a day. I want to be fucking everywhere. I want to be bothering them all the time. If they unfollow me, great. But the rate on every show, on every account, the rate of losing followers is so small compared to the rate of gaining followers. Yeah. So I just don't care about that. And if someone has such a problem with my face showing up all the time and unfollowing me isn't enough for them, text me, email me, DM me, please. I would love to chat with you. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Yeah. And I try to instill that mindset with my clients, because that's the mindset that you need to win in this game. You just have to. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about polished versus volume?
It's an important conversation. I think polished is very important in general. But polish can be done in low-hanging fruit ways. Good cameras, good lighting, good audio quality. Like the hardware in the room, I think you should invest in. I do believe in that.
So what's your podcast set up right now? What are we in?
I mean, I'm in just like a loft space in a 3-story building. It's up top. Fully blacked out the room. So we've got these acoustic sound panel walls. I bought these at like a paint store in Los Angeles. To fill 2 walls worth was like $1,000. Took me a couple hours to hang these up. There's windows behind these, and we just literally deleted the windows, covered them up with these panels. I like the aesthetic of dark and moody and ambient for a lot of my shows in this studio. We have studios downstairs as well that are light, different. So, okay, decide on like your aesthetic. I like the Rode mics, the Pod Mic USB. Definitely use an XLR cable versus a USB-C cable, just better, more crispy. A lot of people prefer the Shure mics, a little bit more expensive. I've just always used my whole system as audio has always been Rode, so just loyal to them, and I know how to work their interface. Couple Sony FX30s. If you want to upgrade even more, FX3s are slightly better. I think it is absolutely worth good cameras. At the very least, like $1,000 for your DSLRs, you got to get 3 of them. And then our wide angle lens, this one here, it's a Fuji. I also do a lot of photography, so I like to use that camera for myself for fun. And I found it's pretty easy to match the Sony and Fuji system. And then, good lights. Yeah. Amaran Verge Max Pro LED panels. I like these because they're like flat, almost like a flat screen TV versus these big fucking boxes. Much easier to move up and down to different rooms in the building, and easy to travel with. You can just put them into like this like round case, and a nice table, a lot of carpet and stuff to dampen the audio. I mean, you could build a room like this for all in like 10 grand or less. You could do it at an office in your co-working space. You could do it in a spare bedroom in your home, do it in your basement.
And then also if you do it in your home, then your home becomes tax deductible.
Yeah, 100%. We've got a curtain behind you. That's just like a black curtain. I love the curtain look. It's not the best. I might replace that with like a false wall soon, but it gets the job done. So, when it comes to polish, first off, like Zoom recordings, Riverside, if you have guests coming on your pod, just do it in person. Like, you just got to be in person, travel for it, bring them to your city, whatever it is, figure out a way to make it in person. Because the quality of your content is only as strong as the worst camera in the room. So if you have a beautiful at-home setup for your virtual show and you're recording on Riverside, and then your guest tunes in with like piece of shit MacBook Pro from 2013.
So bad.
That is now the high-end standard of your show is their MacBook.
Yeah.
It actually looks worse when you look great and they look terrible. Now you're like clearly. So, I mean, look, is it better than doing no content at all? It depends on the company and the guest. It depends on the strategy of the show and the space they're in, like TBD. But that's an important one. And so, okay, if you record a 2-hour or even a 1-hour conversation with good content, good quality equipment, then it's no difference in how you get to 20, 30 clips a day in terms of volume. But if the quality of the raw content was so much better, you're going to get volume and polish.
Yeah.
If the quality of the content to start was shitty, you're going to get volume and shitty quality, no polish. And then that's just wasting. Usually you're just kind of shooting in the dark. And at that point, don't really do it at all, in my opinion. Yeah. I have an eye for quality. I care a lot about it. It's a highly competitive space now. People only have so many hours in the day to consume content. Why should they watch yours? A big reason is because you fucking put some polish into it. You put some money and some juice behind that. You got some good equipment. You built a nice set. Even nowadays, like the kind of cheesy like pop-up podcast studio sets with like Amazon furniture and like the little purple light in the background. It just looks generic now, and it looks like an Amazon studio, if you will. So yeah, I think all that's pretty crucial. Yeah,
makes sense. So I want to move on to the origin story because I like this quite a lot. You're a real entrepreneur now. You've built a number of businesses and supporting a number of successful businesses, but you began very young. So tell us a story about the skateboard repair business that you started at 8.
Yeah, I was living in a neighborhood in just outside of New York City. It was like a gated community, like a little townhouse community. There were probably like 200 something homes. They're all connected to each other. And loved skateboarding. Just like fucking loved it. And I don't know. I think I just got the idea that like it would be really valuable for me to repair everybody's skateboards in the neighborhood. Didn't really do any market research around how many people skateboarded there, let alone how many needed their boards repaired. But what was more important was I, after school one day, went on Microsoft Word, opened up clip art, made like a little flyer with like an icon of like a skateboard. And it was like Jake's Repair Service and had all those like little like pull off, little piece of paper at the bottom with my home phone number on it. It was like, if you need your skateboard repaired, call me. But what I did wrong, which I didn't realize, how like you pull the little tab with the phone number, you put those up on a light post or a telephone pole, and as people walk by, they pull it off. I put them in everyone's mailbox. So like everyone got a flyer with like 25 little pull tabs in their mailbox. I just didn't like think about the use of that. I just thought like that's what you did when you were advertising a business, was you like make those little pull tabs. Yeah. So I skateboarded around the neighborhood and I printed like 200 of them on my mom's printer, like color printer in her office. Put them in every person's mailbox in the neighborhood. We got 2 phone calls the next day. My parents did.
2 out of 200 is not a bad start.
One of the phone calls was from a nice old guy who lived down the street who felt so, I guess, endeared by what I did that he went out and bought a skateboard. He drove over it with his car to break it and then hired me to repair it. Now, I was like, I can like tighten your trucks or like grease, your wheels or like replace the bearings. Like that's what I could repair. He just broke the board in half. I couldn't like put that back together. So that was really nice of him to be like my first real customer.
Did you figure it out?
I couldn't figure that. I couldn't repair that with like duct tape and board together. No, it doesn't work. The second call we got was from the like leader of the HOA system, who was basically like, called my mom, called my stepdad, and was like, hey, your son has violated various rules. We are not allowed to solicit or advertise business by putting flyers in mailboxes. if he does it again, you're going to face like enormous fines and potentially even be like kicked out of the neighborhood. It was like
That's
super
insane.
aggressive. And they
So
were like,
aggressive.
fuck you, as an 8-year-old kid who's trying to like be entrepreneurial and like a little bit creative and industrious. And like, that's really, bro, like Jake's skateboard repair is what you're losing sleep over. So anyway, I got a little bit of trouble. I had to like stop doing that. But that taught me a lot about know your customer, know your market, know the limitations, break some rules. And that was where it all started for me.
That's such a pisser. I love it. Well, were you actually good at fixing them, or was it just a little child hustle?
I don't think so. Yeah, it was a child hustle. Like I had a couple tools in my little kid toolbox. It was more just like I had a passion for skateboarding and wanted to make some money off of it. I wanted to like see what it was like to make $1. You know, it was my version of a lemonade stand.
Yeah, I love it. A statement that I really agree with is a winner is just a loser who tries one more time.
Yeah, I like that.
So have you ever actually launched businesses that have failed, and what are the stories behind them?
Tons. Most. My first real company was a marketing agency that I started when I was a freshman in college. I was 18 at the University of Colorado in Boulder. That was not a failure. That one was great. I pivoted it though, like my senior year, to build out an online learning platform to teach creatives business skills. So we built like all these courses, recorded like really high quality content. So we had all the video gear. Me and my co-founder did this whole like coordinated launch. We like got some earned media. We were like being interviewed in like Colorado magazines and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. That one totally failed.
Really?
Completely flopped.
So what happened?
It was a really hard situation, actually. Like I kind of, I would say it was like first time founder shit. I mean, I was 21.
Well, what was the difference between the first business when you were younger and the second business?
Yeah.
Had you just gotten more of an ego about what you could achieve or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one was, I was 18, it was a marketing agency. It was a service business. I was like, you want a logo done, web design, video, photos of your event, you need fucking brochure printed, like we'll do it all.
You weren't reinventing the wheel at that time.
Wasn't reinventing the wheel, wasn't changing the world, wasn't trying to change the world. Had a team of about 25 other college students working for me. And the idea was in Boulder, you had all these startups that couldn't afford the big agency rates, but $100,000 to do a website, too much. But for a startup to hire like a team of college kids who are good designers, like these are great designers, great videographers, just like kids who grew up with Photoshop and Final Cut Pro. Like we all were, right? I found those kids on campus, a huge school, brought them in, gave them a contract, and we did these projects, and clients would pay us like $7,000 to do a website, steal for them, fucking payday for a bunch of college kids for us to make like $500 each, to do like a project for a month. It's fucking awesome. So that was the model. And I learned a lot about that, but I didn't feel like I was, and this was in the era of like Zuckerberg was just, a couple years older than me, essentially. Billionaires in college building these insane tech platforms, Zuckerberg, Spiegel, like fucking Instagram guys, you name it. And I was really inspired by that. We were in Boulder and I was getting close with the guys at Foundry Group, which was the fund behind Fitbit and a couple other huge companies. And they co-founded Techstars. It was like the second biggest accelerator in the world next to Y Combinator. And they were just really getting started at the same time I was coming up. And so I was spending all my time with those VCs, Brad Feld and Seth Levine, and all the founders that they were backing and all these Techstars people, all my time when I was working, hanging out at their offices, same co-working spaces. They were all building products, software that they could eventually go sell off. And a lot of them were. Boulder and Denver was number one place to build a company outside of Silicon Valley at the time. Now it's not at all. This was a decade ago. And so I felt like I wasn't going to change the world. I couldn't become a billionaire by making websites for people.
Is that still the goal?
So, no. At the time, I mean, I was a 20-year-old kid. Like, of course I wanted to become a billionaire and change the world. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. The world I had seen, I backpacked South America for a couple months and like been around the country, but like I didn't know shit about the world. And I thought I knew everything. I realize now I don't know shit about the world at all, less than I thought I knew then. So was like, okay, we could build an actual product. I can like make IP, like build these online courses, sell them to hundreds of thousands, not millions of people just off like one build. Like, so we took like 6 months to build these courses, interviewed top names in the Colorado ecosystem, like VCs talking about stuff, founders talking about stuff, restaurant owners, photographers, like you name it, big names. And it was really cool content. It was well done. I actually like watched it recently because it's just like somewhere buried on YouTube, and it's like pretty decent shit for like a bunch of 20-year-olds 10 years ago with the equipment that we had that we just like rented from campus.
So like a masterclass.
It was exactly like masterclass. Our idea was masterclass was the only one making like cinematic level online courses. Everyone else sucks. And so because of that, there's like a 99% failure rate with online courses. People start a course, they never finish.
And you think it's because the quality of the content isn't there, like the video quality?
Yeah, there's a couple things. It was quality, like it wasn't engaging, both visually, but also just like how it's designed, and community. Like there's no accountability. You're like in your own silos working on an online course. And
that's why school's interesting.
Yeah. And so we were like, if we make really high quality content and have a whole community layer where like you can link up with other people taking the same course and then have like specific things you need to do with them, keep people engaged. And so that was our whole premise, our whole pitch. Anyway, had like everything projected out that on launch day, we were going to basically cash like $100,000, we're going to bank like $100,000 before the end of the night, based off of our pricing models and all this stuff. And it was just like, I just went into it thinking like I'm going to get interviewed by all these publications and there's going to be a fucking standing ovation for me at our launch party. And my co-founder and I were going to make like $100,000 overnight. I'm going to clear my student loan debt before I even graduate. Like it's going to be sick. And we had this launch party. There were a few magazines that showed up to interview us because we asked them to. And nothing else happened. We had zero sales. Zero sales.
So was it a marketing failure or was it a product failure?
It was a complete misunderstanding of what it actually means to build a product and how to actually do it. I had no knowledge of it. I was a first-time founder. I went and built a thing that I thought so many people would need. And I built it in a way that I thought this is how they need it. But I didn't talk to any of them. I didn't ask anybody to review it. I was scared people would tell me it's not what they wanted, and then I would be wrong. And I didn't want to face that potential reality. And so what I learned from that is don't build a fucking thing until someone has literally paid me money as a deposit on an idea. Then you take that money and then you go, with that money, build the thing, bootstrapping. That's one of the reasons why and then when I was in venture capital for most of my 20s, investing in founders, never invest in first-time founders for that reason. Because they don't understand the importance of validation, validating and talking to your customer. The only way to learn it is to have done it and failed and then realize I'm never doing that again. Yeah. Because it was very painful. And then
how much money did you lose?
All in? I don't know. Probably not a lot looking back because it was just whatever beer money I had at 20 years old.
How much of your net worth did you lose?
There was no net worth to lose anyway. But that's the point. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing to lose. There was nothing to lose. And so no better time in my life to go and like give it a shot and learn that stuff. It's why I love mentoring like college age and recent grad founders, because like the world is their oyster. They're so idealistic. They don't understand yet the realities of the universe. That's such a superpower, dude. Yeah. To like be that naive to the realities of how hard this shit is and what you can lose. Once you get a little bit older, you have some savings, you have a dog or you have a spouse, you have kids, you have a house. Like, dude, the stakes are way higher. Get that shit out of the way. Get your first startup out of the way before you have those stakes. That when you do go do it, then it's like, you know how to do this shit.
Yeah. My first company was and it's still active, but it's active at like 5% of what its previous capacity was. It was a festival and events business in regional Australia. And we did great for about 7 years. And then COVID hit and then it dropped. And then I tried to really force my way back in, and I tried to scale on the back of coming out of COVID, ended up losing all in after selling stuff, and those investments would have gone up probably $500,000 Australian. That was my first one. Yeah. And now I'm in the reset and let's see what's next.
Of course.
So we'll see where that goes. But I want to move into what you're up to now with Thursday Labs. So you've scaled companies like Rove by over 500% in a year. You've got a lot of experience. So what's the number one marketing strategy that you can share with the audience that is going to move the needle significantly right now?
I wish there was a here's what you got to do. The reason there isn't a just here's the number one thing, and I do have some good answers here though, is because each company, every business is a bit different. Yeah. That's so much to do with the audience in each space, what's out there, what almost competition of content, what's saturated and what's not. And also just where you're at in that quarter based off just what's trending and what's becoming overdone. And that's always evolving. So, but then there are things that are tried and true. Yeah. They just kind of always have worked and always will work. And I call those the fundamentals, the core principles, that's where I'll answer this question. Yeah. So things that always work are authentic, provocative stories with quote unquote influential people in your space. So interviews, right? Podcasts. That stands for something, takes a stance, has an edge, has a belief system, has an opinion. It just baffles me how so many brands and founders, they just play the fence. They just ride a line because they're afraid to bother people or they're afraid to take a stance. I mean, just pick an angle. We believe in this and we believe against this. It could be political, it could be social, it could be economic, it could be something in your industry. You have to take a stance against something. We're taking a stance against plastic in the ocean. We're taking a stance against child pornography. We're taking a stance against marriage before you're 30. We're taking I don't know. Take a stance on anything. So easy to say we're against blank. And that just always crushes it because it stands out. It's meaningful. Now, how you then go treat that, the world's your oyster. Yeah. Write a newsletter, put up little TikTok videos, make a podcast, just fucking put up inspirational quotes on Instagram. It doesn't really matter what it is. It just matters that you do it and you do a lot of it for a long time. Yeah. But it has to mean something. It has to stand for something. It has to have some emotional appeal. Yeah. That's the one thing. Yeah. It's the one thing.
So your slogan is also content that makes money.
It was at one point.
It was?
I don't know if we really have a slogan anymore.
Nah? Okay. If you were to distill a slogan, what do you think it would sound like?
Well, let's talk about the content that makes money because I do still believe in it. Yeah. Businesses need to treat content like a product. Yeah. Products need to make money. Or product line of theirs. Otherwise, it's just you're screaming out loud for what? Why are you doing this? For your ego, just to check the box that you're putting shit on LinkedIn? Eventually, you're just going to burn out if it's not having a return. So content should address needs from your customers or your audience. It should address viewpoints that you have on the market. It should share your story. Mm-hmm. It should inform something in some way. Content should make you money. Now, it might not directly be I put out this clip and then I got a customer that brought me in 3x more revenue than it cost me to make the clip. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that happens. We can't always look at that as such a direct ROI though. The ROI tracking on this shit is complex, unfortunately. Yeah. But content that makes money. Otherwise, if this is for a business, you have to think of it from that standpoint and work backwards.
Yeah. So what are the biggest mistakes that founders are doing when it comes to making content then?
Talking about themselves too much. Yeah. We see this a lot with VCs and then big time founders. I get it. It's a little bit of an ego thing. Mm-hmm. And we're humans, we have egos, but I'm the host of this show. So I'm going to put myself on the camera and the mic and I'm going to talk about all the things that I know to show how smart I am because people need to buy from me and people need to invest in me and people are going to come work for me. So it's me. All right. It just is not a good idea.
What makes you say that?
It really just comes back down to ego And it's no different than the guy or gal on LinkedIn or Twitter who's always like, I just got engaged. Here's what I can teach you about that. Just like what I learned about B2B sales.
my auntie just died, and this is what I learned about B2B SaaS.
But it's no different.
Those memes?
Of course, it's no different than going on a first date and talking about yourself the whole time, or showing up at a dinner party and just talking about how great you are. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah,
they care about themselves. Make it about them.
Yeah,
people just don't seem to get that. So how do folks do it? Do what Anthony Bourdain did. He was the best in the world at this, I think. Anthony Bourdain he wasn't the best chef. He wasn't the best restaurateur, arguably. He was the best in the world at finding the best chefs, finding the best restaurateurs, going out, getting in the room with them, and then asking them the questions that everyone else was either afraid to ask, unable to ask, or didn't even think to ask, and then capturing it in really compelling content formats and distilling it in entertaining ways. So you scour the globe as the curator, as the guide, as the leader. I'm going to go out and on your behalf, I'm going to go find all the people that you need to hear from, that you need to learn from. And because I'm not the expert, I just know how to reach the experts. I know what questions to ask the experts because you're not doing it. You don't need to do it. I got it. I got you. I'm your guide. I'm your leader here. That's how you want to position this. And so for VCs, like take all your portfolio founders who are the actual experts in what they're building. You're just the one who is the expert in financing them. Awesome. But if you're going to talk about AI as a VC, why don't you have the main draw of your show be all the actual AI experts? Now I actually want to learn from your platform. I don't care to learn from you, but I want to learn from your platform. I'm going to credit you for it. So thank you for that. I actually respect you more now. So I think that's the biggest mistake is people just make it about themselves.
Yeah. If you were to look at focusing on one channel, because I like the idea that Alex Hormozi says, where he says up to $1 million in revenue, one target audience and one channel.
Yeah.
So if you were to focus on just one thing for 2026, one channel, one target audience, where would you put your energy?
Instagram.
You think so?
Yeah. I believe Instagram has the best algorithm right now. You can put out the most volume without it having negative effects. If you put up more than like 4 or 5 videos a day on TikTok on one account, it starts to have problems. Instagram, you put up 40 clips a day, 100 clips a day, and like it doesn't have an issue currently. And Instagram is a really terrific place to then direct people elsewhere. It's so easy to move someone from Instagram to YouTube or Instagram to Spotify. Their linking algorithm is great. Instagram has a ton of in-app tools to edit. Trending audio works really well if you put it over your videos. Instagram on stories, if you put like polls or Q&A or like little links to mentions, other things, does great. To build loyalty, build awareness, reach new people right now, Instagram all day.
It's very robust.
Very robust. You really can share an incredible perspective and you can really build a real story through Instagram right now, more than any other platform.
Just quickly though, I love doing this podcast. If it's positively impacted you in some way and you would like to support us, please subscribe. By subscribing, it allows us to build a much bigger base of listeners, which results in better guests, better production, and a better show overall. Alternatively, please take a look at the affiliate links of the products that I use and love in the comments below and consider purchasing using those links. They'll give you a discount and they'll also provide the podcast a small kickback. These are 2 very easy ways for you to support us as we continue to grow the podcast that we absolutely love doing. Thank you for your support. And now back to the episode. So I want to switch gears to your dinner party experience.
Okay.
So I've had this idea for a little while where I've started to notice naturally the power of bringing people together through food. And it's something that has been used for thousands of years. And you've hosted over 200 dinner parties. So what's one of the funniest or weirdest stories that came from one of those dinner parties?
Well, I mean, the first that comes to mind, I don't know how funny or weird it is like there's been quite a few romantic connections that have come out of it. I just think that's really special.
Yeah.
Maybe one that comes to mind is I was terrified nervous going into this dinner because the format I would do would be like their first come, first serve, to buy a ticket. Anybody who's on the text only invite list would receive the invitation, but And I would vet the invite list, of course. Like you'd have to apply to get on the list, and then I would look at the applications and admit people. And I was very, very serious and cognizant about diversity in terms of gender and age and thought, and all kinds of other things, skin color, culture, religious background, sexual orientation. Like I was just very cognizant of that. I just always cared a lot about it. And one time it worked out where we had a table of like 9, and 8 of them were all white dudes. And one was a younger white woman. I think all these dudes were probably in their like late 20s. And I was like, fuck, do I cancel the meal? This is like not appropriate. Do I cancel the meal? Do I reach out to a few of the guys and ask, hey, would you be willing to like forfeit your ticket? I'll give you like a credit for a free dinner next week or something instead, try to fill it out with non-white dudes. But first what I decided to do, because actually I knew this woman. I had met her a few times. I texted her, I was like, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. Transparently, like, unfortunately, this is how the chips fell this week. How do you feel about it? And she was like, I don't mind. Okay. All right. So let's run it. So we ran the dinner, and the entire meal was her asking all the guys around the group like so many questions about dating advice. She's single. She's like looking to find a partner, looking to find a boyfriend. And so she was just asking all these questions, trying to like get into the mind of the man. And I remember just sitting back, like crossing my arms, just listening to this whole meal this whole time, being like, this is actually one of the most powerful conversations that have ever taken place at this meal, because 1, guys have never been asked questions like this before. 2, they're learning a lot about the female mind based off of what questions she was asking. And she's learning a ton about the male mind based off the answers she's getting. And everyone texted me afterwards, like, dude, that was the best dinner ever.
I love it.
I just found that to be a little bit bizarre. And after that, I was like, maybe we need like some sort of interesting guardrails on how we just end up with how the genders play out in the room. But I thought that was a fascinating one.
Yeah. Has anyone ruined a dinner before, and how did you handle it?
I've had people get too wasted for sure. I do care a lot about there being enough wine to go around. And I used to have a little bit of a formula of like, every person, there should be 1 bottle for every person.
Yeah.
And if there's any left over, great, it gets taken home.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. 1 bottle per person. And it's very obvious how throughout the night, like after 0 glasses, there's some awkwardness. After everyone has 1 glass, it's like a little bit less awkward. After everyone has 2 glasses, people are best friends. After 3 glasses, everyone kills their bottle, basically. Like it's a
cookery.
Vibe. Yeah, it's a vibe. And you're in some like cool fucking Soho or East Village, like underground brick room dinner party. It's sick. But yeah, there have definitely been some people who are a little bit too sloppy, a little bit too loud. Like, it's at the end of the day, like this is still a little bit networky, but like the whole idea was ambitious people who were interesting people, ambitious people who were in their like early to mid 20s, typically, who were sick and tired of just drinking on the weekends. And that was their entire social life. And they were looking to meet other ambitious people. New York was hard then. It still is, of like, you just hang out with your friends from fucking college or your coworkers, and your life is brunch, drinking, and Broadway or museums. Like that's your life. So we're getting a bit older now. Now there's like a whole running culture, which I do love. But at the time, that wasn't the thing. I was like, I feel like we all moved to New York post-college with this vision of what it meant to live in New York City after college. And it was derived from like the Andy Warhol era of like really avant-garde, weird underground shit. It's like it was like this promise we all thought we had, and then we moved to New York and we didn't have it. Everyone was just pre-gaming in their friend's Murray Hill apartment. Unless you went out to Bushwick, which like was just a different scene. I was like, how do we bring this like secret underground, like follow the glow sticks into the back room type vibe to this demographic of like startup founders and like people in finance, and then start expanding it to like, I want yoga teachers to show up and like kids in med school and like fucking poets and someone who just like studies the harp at NYU music school, like whatever. I just really wanted that type of diversity. So every now and then you'd get some like broy finance guy who would just get too wasted and would just start running his mouth about some shit. And, you'd have to just like, I'd be like, hey, and that also taught me how to like handle a situation like that. I was pretty scared to do it when I was 23 years old and didn't know how to like talk man to man to somebody who's running their mouth and a couple drinks deep, who's twice my size, and a few years older than me, and flexing their Goldman card. Like it was just an interesting exercise. And now I learned how to handle that shit.
So how do you handle that shit?
Look, studying martial arts for many years after that, or like around that time and beyond, was definitely helpful. Non-combative, soft, cool, calm, collected, friendly. Usually just like take the high road around like and guide the conversation elsewhere, and then always do it privately. Never like call someone out about something negatively in front of others. Always pull them aside. Yeah, and it's more just like, instead of being like, hey, dude, you're causing an issue, it'd be more like, yo, I have an even better idea. Let's go in this direction, like, and inspire them in this direction versus get them off of that direction. That's kind of my high level framework.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you think were the secrets to making the dinners not awkward and transactional? Because networking generally sucks.
Yeah, a lot of it, it's like we were saying before, of like, it all comes down to like the core ingredients and the foundation of these things. Like, I just cared so much about the entire brand, the entire thing being fucking cool and different, and like not for everybody, not so accessible, not so frequent, not so easy to spot. So the website was just like our logo. Like, nothing else was on it. The only way to get into a dinner was to somehow find the phone number to text, and you had to text it TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday. And then you would get a just response automatically, which is a link to apply. And then the application was like something that would take you 20 minutes to fill out. It was free. It's always free. And then once a week, I'd sit down, I'd review applicants, and sometimes I'd have to text people and ask them a few questions, or if people like even the slightest bit like spammed it or wrote some disrespectful or shit, or they like just typed in a bunch of letters, you're not even getting a reply. Yeah. So just the curation of the group right out of the gates was super important. I never really talked about it on social media. I never put up a tweet or an Instagram story that was like, this week we have like a head of finance at here, and like the VP of engineering here, and like the CEO of this. Like, I never wanted to flex titles. You see that a lot in New York. Like, come to this dinner, we're going to have like the director of marketing at Coinbase there, or like, you know, a partner at Goldman's going to be there. And it's like, cool. If it's that type of a networking event, then like, I do care about people's titles, I guess. At my dinners, no titles, humans. Like, I care about, this person is fucking hilarious. This person has traveled the world and seen everything. This person like started a massive philanthropic organization and has helped like 1 billion people find clean water. I don't know.
Did you share some bios about everybody before the dinners, or you just kind of got everyone together? I
experimented with that a bit, and then I stopped doing it. I thought that what was more important was like, you know, ahead of time that when you show up to this dinner, you're going to meet the coolest people you've ever met. Yeah. But you don't know who they are or how they're the coolest people. You just know that they are going to be the coolest people.
It's been curated enough that you have to just trust the process.
Right. And like, I felt as soon as that trust wasn't there, that like people would be like, oh, I'm not sure if I like, I'm going to meet really cool people. This whole thing's dead. And I took so much inspiration from So Far Sounds. Like, you know, the venue's going to be sick. You know, it's going to be this like sick rock climbing gym, or this sick restaurant, or this like really cool barber shop. You know, the artists are going to be awesome. They might not be like exactly your favorite style of music, but you know you're going to get 3 artists and they're going to be great. Yeah. You don't know who they are or what the genres are going to be, but you know it's going to be cool. And then you know there's going to be drinks and there's going to be snacks there. And like, there's some things you can rely on. There's some element of surprise that is always, there's always the same element of surprise, but the surprise itself is always different.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what made it special.
Yeah.
And that was the whole allure. So, you know, interviews with like the New Yorker and like different big magazines to publish all this stuff and talk about like, you know, Thursday clubs, like bring in like 70s style dinner parlors, like private dinner clubs into New York in the 2000s. And then COVID hit. Nothing continued after that. Nothing got published after that. So that basically killed it. We tried a little bit post COVID to like keep it alive, but nothing really ripped after that. Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting time. And then I just, quite frankly,
moved on.
Tired, man.
Yeah. Daddy's getting old.
He's getting older. And I just like stopped wanting to go out every Thursday night.
Yeah, yeah.
And also it just became a moment in history where like everyone and their mother was hosting dinners.
Sure.
Everyone's hosting dinners. And I'm kind of like, all right.
Yeah, no one's hosting dinners in New York right now.
Not right now.
No, there's nothing going on. You might have inspired me. I'm thinking about it.
Take the model, dude.
I'm thinking about it. But I would want to do it. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it like the same spot, but like different people.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway.
Honestly, the secret to this is don't overthink it. Just host a dinner and like see what you liked doing, see what you thought was weird and didn't like doing, and then do it again and then do it again. Just keep going. And like, I didn't design this shit from the start. Literally, first time I just got 6 people in a room, was like, let's have dinner and see what happens. And then next time I did like a little bit different. Over the course of a year or two, it became even started to sort of become a thing. Like I didn't introduce the text only invite list till like maybe 15 months in or 18 months in.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it until I just got the idea one day and saw this new platform called Superphone where you could just like text strangers in mass. And I was like, all right, let's try that out. So yeah, there was like just an iteration to it.
Yeah,
like anything else.
Definitely. So you've been in the startup world and the venture studio world for quite a while. You launched and sold Global Startup Studio Network.
Yeah, GSSN.
Yeah. And were there any startups you saw that were just really crazy and stupid that you knew would completely fail?
Oh, of course.
What's an example?
So many. The funniest one I ever heard, I love this story, is someone pitched me once. He was like, I'm going to start this clothing line, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, etc., that would say like gluten-free or vegan or dairy-free on it. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Like, you know, because like gluten-free is trending right now, or like, you know, where's the like fashion appeal in that? And he was like, no. It's so that when you go to a restaurant, if you're gluten-free, you could like wear the gluten-free hat and then the waiter or waitress would know, don't feed them gluten. Or if you go to a dinner party and you're vegan, you wear the vegan shirt and people would know like, oh, they're vegan. Don't feed them any meat or plant-based foods only. And I remember looking at me like, you fucking serious with this? And he was dead serious. He had mock-ups and everything. It was like a whole thing. He was like raising a bunch of money.
Why do you need to raise a bunch of money for a fucking clothing label?
I don't know. So the funny thing is, and it's one of those stories that's just like so outrageous that one day, because you're like, oh, what? We're just going to like change all of culture to then abide by, like expect that like unless someone's wearing a vegan shirt or a gluten-free shirt, they're not vegan or they're not gluten-free. Like you need to completely shift the entire dynamic of social constructs in order for this to actually make the impact you want. The funny thing is, like, imagine one day that actually does become a thing. Like, oh, you look around like, oh, I feel like everyone in this restaurant's got like a gluten-free or dairy-free hat on. Like, fuck, I probably should have funded that company a few years back. It was just that ridiculous of a story.
The total addressable market is everybody.
Dude, everyone needs this, bro. Like food allergies are on the rise. Yeah, I mean, God, there were so many examples of stupid ass startups and any variety you can imagine. That's one example.
That's so good. So if there's any new entrepreneurs that are struggling to get traction, what would you say to them? What's the one lever that they should try and pull to begin with?
Okay, so what everyone's seeking is product market fit. First off, I think people need to like correctly define product market fit. Product market fit is when the market is demanding so much out of your product. They need it. They're begging for it. Literally begging you for your product and it's not ready yet. You cannot keep up with the demand. That's product market fit. People are paying you money for putting a deposit down for like the thing that's not even done being created yet. If you don't have that, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
Everyone wants PMF. They want to feel like they're there. They want to talk about it. They want to like just tell themselves that because it means they're onto something and every idea they had is now validated and they were right. 9.9 out of 10 times someone says like, we got product market fit. And those criteria I just mentioned were not actually met yet. They haven't actually gotten it. So first thing is like, understand the definition and abide by it because when you get it, you will know and you will be exhausted and you will have to make this tough decision, which is like, fuck, am I actually about to go like do nothing else in my life for the next 6, 12, maybe more months just to like fulfill the orders basically follow the thing. I got to go build this out. And that's not easy. It's super stressful and super hard and there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights in the meantime. So, okay, make sure you're ready for that. Then I'd say be shameless and unabashed in your desire and your ability to just fucking try stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly on the content side of things. Just put things out there. Just say what's on your heart and your mind, and say everything you can imagine in every way you can imagine, in every format you can imagine. Put it out on the internet in every destination you can imagine. You just need to shotgun approach it. Give it a real shot. 10 posts a day. Promise anybody listening, I promise you, if you post even one thing a day, every day for 365 days straight, your life will change drastically.
Yeah.
Drastically.
Yeah.
In so many ways. Sure, one of those may go viral and then you have a ton of orders to fulfill and you'll make a bunch of money. That's only one way that your life is going to change. There are 100 other ways that your life is going to change for the better that I can't even begin to describe.
Yeah.
Your confidence skyrockets, your communication skills change, your discipline to stick with a thing evolves. Think about how that then changes like your diet and your ability to like stay disciplined with what you put in your body or your fitness routine. And then how does that impact your sex life and your relationship at home? How does that impact your ability to focus and sleep better? Like everything gets better when you're posting more content. It's like the weirdest thing and just such an absurd statement. But I've just found for me and so many other people, when you just start putting yourself out in this fucking world that we're all like so afraid to be a member of, we just want to consume it all. If you actually start being a creator in it, so many awesome things happen in your life.
Yeah.
So many awesome things.
Yeah. So before we finish up, I want to play a little game with you. So I'm going to show you a photo of a random business. You've got 60 seconds to tell me exactly what platform they should use and what their social media strategy should be.
Okay, cool.
Okay. First one is plumber.
A plumber. Okay, plumbers, I would say
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Go on ChatGPT, deep research, and ask it, what are the top 150 questions that people have about at-home plumbing, like things that they try to do themselves, and then go make 150 short videos, one a day for 150 days, doing those things, 90-second videos, being like, okay, I'm going to show you how to like replace this valve on the bottom of your sink or whatever. Put them up on, if you're going to do anything, YouTube Shorts, one platform, only YouTube Shorts. And then I would take the videos that do, the top 10% of views, and I would then run those through, if we're going to go to another platform, Facebook local ads to target people in your area, showing them all the stuff that you do.
Okay. 60 seconds. A Rolex dealership.
A Rolex dealership?
So yeah,
like
somebody's selling Rolexes.
Okay, I'd go to man on the street style content for this one, probably. And I would either like, they're always scripted. Man on the street style stuff's always scripted. So like find people with really dope watches, go up to them on the street. Hey, nice watch. What do you do for a career? And just like put the mic in their face and see what they, oh, whoa, sorry. Yeah, I sell real estate or whatever. And I would do one of those a day for 6 months.
Nice. So the most boring software on earth, how do you make it cool? A B2B SaaS tool for accountants.
The tool is for accountants.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on again, ChatGPT, deep research, and do a bunch of research. Find out what are the top 100-ish issues that accountants have in their life. Not necessarily with
being boring
accounting in their work, but like in their life outside of that. Like, are they afraid that AI is going to take their job? Are they like struggling with a divorce? Are they struggling with their fashion? Whatever. Now you're going to make a podcast that's highly produced for accountants, but it's not about accounting. Maybe you talk about accounting here and there, like LIFO, FIFO, or whatever. I hate accounting personally, so I don't know the terms. But this is the show for accountants to learn how to date better. This is the show
so
for
niche.
Yeah, right. This is the show for accountants who spouses told them they need to step up their fashion wardrobe. Like, and it's a show about fashion or blank, whatever. I would make like a niche human show.
Humanized,
just like, accountants, it doesn't have to be about accounting. Who's going to work as an accountant and listening to a show about accounting on their way to work? Like, no, make it fun, make it entertaining, make it real and human. Through that, the trust that gets built is unbelievable.
Nice. And my last one is a local coffee shop that wants to get lines out the door.
Well, there was that like awesome comedy series, like was like Brooklyn Coffee Shop or something, that It's pretty good. I don't want to just copy that one.
I mean,
could copy that one.
Just copy that
just
one.
Make like a The Office style or Parks and Rec style, like sitcom reality show of like,
so how does this look? I don't know this.
Owning and building a coffee shop. Yeah, I would go on ChatGPT deep research. I'd say I want to make a new show that is the same style and tone and format as The Office and Parks and Rec, but about being a barista at a coffee shop. Can you script out a one pager for me and my first pilot episode, and then like a 30-minute pilot episode script, as well as 25 or 50 short 90-second clips that we can go film that are hilarious.
Nice.
I'd go humor.
Nice. So look, wrapping up, if you could go back to 8-year-old Jake who's fixing skateboards, what would be the one piece of advice you'd tell him?
I'm going to tell him the advice that I got just about 2 years ago. So I was 27, 28. I'm 30 now. It's like 2 or 3 years ago I got this, and it changed my life. And I wish I had heard it many, many years prior. I don't regret that I didn't hear this many years prior, because I heard it when I did, but I always wonder how my life would be today had I had this mindset since I was a little kid. The advice is, life is not happening to you, life is happening for you.
What does that mean?
It means that every single thing that happens in your life, bad and good, and everything in between, is in service of you. It's and if you're religious, it's God. If you're spiritual, it's the universe. If you're whatever you want to call it, I'm rather spiritual, so I like this stuff. Every single thing that happens that falls in your lap, a car accident, getting sued, a breakup, a death in the family, those are the bad things. Coming into a bunch of money, winning a race, getting a promotion, those are the good things. All of it is all in service of your growth, your journey, for you to learn, for you to experience being a human, for you to feel more deeply, for you to connect with other humans. It's all in service of you. So everything that takes place, you just have to ask yourself, like, okay, how is this for me? Because otherwise you're just living in this victim mindset of like, oh, how dare that happen to me? It was so horrible, that thing that happened to me. Just reframe it to, oh, this thing that happened for me. What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What was the good in this? This is one of the reasons my show is called The Optimist. I believe in living an optimistic life. I just do. And I didn't always do that. Most of my life prior to my late 20s, I struggled to do that.
I did a podcast with a guy called Struthless. He does a lot of content. And something he said that I really liked was, when something really difficult was happening to him, he would try and reframe it as, how could this be the best thing that ever happened to me? Yeah. I really like that, because it just forced you to go, you know what? Yeah, this in this moment is really tough, but like, what are the second and third order consequences that I am maybe not seeing right this second that can come from this? Sure. And how do I flip a really tough situation into a potentially positive situation?
Totally. I love it.
Because it is a reframe.
Yeah. There's another phrase that's like, there's two types of people: those who see everything as a miracle and those who see nothing as a miracle. Take your pick. And I like to choose to see everything as a miracle. Yeah.
And if you had only 60 seconds to leave a message for every founder or aspiring founder listening, and this was the last video you ever recorded and everything else in your content got deleted, what would you say?
Entrepreneurship is the best path to your truest self. You have to operate at 110%, 110% of the time. You just have to. You won't, because you're a human being. Some days will be 30%, some days will be 70, some days will be 110. But overall, you have to at least sign up for, I'm going for greatness. I'm going to try to be great. You just have to do it. Through that, the challenge, the adversity, the just natural ups and downs of just all that naturally that entails, you become the most raw, epic, enlightened, powerful version of yourself. Personally, and it's so 360 full bodied. Like, there's nothing else I think in this world that compares to like how full-bodied building a business is. It takes all of you, not just your brain, but also your heart and your soul and your sleep and your energy, like your diet, like it's everything. You get one life. You get one tiny, tiny, tiny little fraction of time on this planet, and the time that this planet is a thing, to experience being a human, and you are probably born into one of the best moments in history and the best locations in the world ever. Don't you dare in the slightest not try to get every single ounce out of that. Like squeeze every drop out of this life.
Yeah.
And I think building a business is the best way to do it.
Jake Hurwitz, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Cool.
This was fun.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please go to YouTube, search that One Time with Adam Metwally, and we'll see you next week.
It was good to be a guest for a little while.
Yeah.
I like it.